In a beautiful village nestled under the vast African skies, where rivers weave like gentle veins through red earth, and fields bloom beneath the watchful gaze of ancient mountains, lived a young woman named Koku. Known far and wide for her grace, wisdom, and the strength of her spirit, Koku had a heart as wide as the sky, and her kindness touched everyone she met. Her parents, proud of her gentle spirit and deep roots, knew the time had come for Koku to find a husband, a partner to walk with her in life's journey. So they took her to the village seer, a wise woman who had guided generations of villagers along their true paths. The seer, her face marked by time and wisdom, gazed into Koku's eyes as if reading the stories within her soul. After a long silence, she smiled and said, "Koku, I see your husband. His name is Joe, and you will know him by the sound of his drum, for it will beat like music to your ears." The words stayed with Koku, sinking deep into her heart. She left the seer's home, feeling a sense of wonder and anticipation, imagining her Joe, the mysterious man with a drumbeat she had yet to hear, but felt as if she'd been waiting for all her life. Time passed, and Koku's family decided to host a grand festival, inviting all the eligible young men from neighboring villages. The celebration was a colorful event under the starlit sky, with aromas of spiced stews, the rhythm of talking drums, and joyful voices filling the air. Koku, adorned in a dress of deep indigo and gold beads, wandered through the gathering. Her heart skipped when she met, not one, not two, but 5 young men, each named Joe, and each with a drum whose beat seemed to call to her differently. There was Joe the storyteller, a man with a voice that turned simple tales into legends. His drum beat slow and deep, telling ancient stories as he played, and his laughter rang out, warm and full, drawing a crowd. Then came Joe the hunter, a bold young man whose life was the wild savannah. His drum beat was fast and fierce, like the pounding of hooves across the plains, and his laughter cracked like fire in the night, making Koku's heart race. Next, Koku met Joe the healer, a gentleman who knew the secrets of leaves, roots, and healing waters. His drum had a soft, steady rhythm, like the beat of a lullaby, comforting those around him. Then there was Joe the musician, a joyful man whose drum and flute brought life to every gathering. His beat was lively, full of spirit, and his laughter danced like a song, lighting up the night. Lastly, she met Joe the farmer, a patient soul whose hands worked the land with care. His drum beat was low and steady, echoing the earth's heartbeat, and his laughter was like the rich soil, deep and grounding. Koku was left in wonder, feeling drawn to each of them, yet unsure who held the drum beat that would complete her heart. She decided to spend time with each Joe over the coming weeks, getting to know each one in his world. Koku's first visit was with Joe the storyteller. He invited her to sit by the fire under a moonlit sky, telling her tales of ancestors, fierce warriors, and love that overcame all trials. His voice painted images in the night, and his laughter rang out, warm as the flames. Koku found herself laughing with him, her heart full of joy. But as she listened closer, she wondered if this was the drumbeat meant for her. It was captivating, yet something still felt distant. Next, she journeyed with Joe the hunter into the savannah. He showed her how to track animals, move silently, and read the earth. Koku felt the thrill of the wild in his presence, and his drumbeat was strong, a rhythm that made her heart quicken. But as they walked back to the village under the stars, she questioned if his bold drum was the one her heart sought. In the healer's hut, surrounded by herbs and the gentle hum of village life, Joe the healer showed Koku his world. His laughter was soft, like a breath of wind through the trees, and his drumbeat was steady, bringing peace to her spirit. Yet Koku sensed her heart still searching for something she couldn't name. With Joe the musician, Koku felt lifted by his playful tunes and the lively beat of his drum. His laughter was like the song of a bird, bright and light. They danced under the setting sun, and Koku's spirit felt free. Yet a quiet voice inside her told her she had not yet found the one who truly held her heart's rhythm. Finally, Koku spent a day with Joe the farmer, walking through fields he had tilled with care and patience. His laughter was like the earth itself, grounding and steady, and his drumbeat resonated deep, like the pulse of the land. She felt at peace, yet something in her still longed for the music that would complete her heart's song. Weeks passed, and Koku decided to test each Joe, watching how they acted in moments of challenge. She observed the storyteller comforting a grieving elder, the hunter guiding a lost child back to their family, the healer tending to the sick even when he was weary, the musician lifting the spirits of everyone with his lively melodies, and the farmer showing his dedication to the land he loved. Koku felt admiration for each of them, but knew she had to listen closely to her heart. She spent a final evening with each Joe, thanking them for their friendship. But as she sat by the river one evening with Joe the musician, a familiar drumbeat echoed in her soul. His laughter blended with the sound of his drum, and Koku felt as if her heart had found its missing piece. Under the soft glow of the moon, Koku looked into Joe the musician's eyes, her voice sure as she spoke. "Your laughter, your drumbeat, it's the song that fills my heart." Joe's face softened in understanding, and he embraced her, their laughter mingling under the vast African sky. They married soon after, with the village celebrating in song and dance. All the other Joes joined in, each bringing their own joy for Koku and Joe. Together they lived a life full of music, laughter, and the deep, rich joy of knowing they had found each other's heartbeats. And so, Koku and her Joe the musician lived a life of harmony, their love a song that echoed across the fields and valleys, blessing everyone in their village. And indeed they lived happily ever after, in rhythm with the heartbeat of the earth.